Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to cover the second chapter, The Stone Age A Settled Life, from your Class 5 SST book. This phase is also known as New Stone Age. Let's begin the chapter with an introduction. With passing time, people became more developed and skilled. They became more aware of their surroundings and their ability to adapt to the situation. Now, people were no more hunter gatherer. Rather, they started farming and herding. They started settling down in one place. People discovered the use of metals like copper and bronze. With this, Old Stone Age ended and New Stone Age began. The beginning of farming. As the hunter gatherers wandered about in search of food, they probably noticed that many plants had seeds that could be eaten. They also saw that if these seeds fell on the ground, sometimes later new plants of same kind began to grow there. This was a big discovery. It was the start of farming. Now the question arises, when and where did it start? Slowly, people changed from hunting gathering to farming. Historians believe that farming first started in West Asia about 12,000 years ago. Later, it started in Southeast Asia in the region of the Mekong Delta. There are very few sources of information about the life of New Stone Age people. Some of them are discussed here. Archaeologists have discovered remains of villages. The huts of the first farmers were round or circular. Adding to that, they have also found grinding stones for grinding seeds into flour, pots for cooking or storage. Not only that, seeds and tools used for farming has also been discovered. From all these, archaeologists have been able to guess what the lives of the early farmers were like. How did farming change people's life? Farming was a very important development in human history. It changed the way that human beings had lived for thousands of years. The ways in which the lives of the people changed are discussed here. First, life became more settled. Hunter gatherers had to wander over a large area in search of food and animals. With farming, crops that could provide food for the entire group of people could be grown in much smaller area. People lived near their crops to be able to take care for them. Second, we have small villages grew. As people's life became more settled, many small villages grew into towns and cities later. Third, we have animals were domesticated. Dogs were the first animals to be domesticated. They were domesticated when people were hunter and gatherer. They were used as guard animals and hunting companions. Later, sheep, goat, cows, and pigs were domesticated and provided milk, meat, wool, and skin. Fourth, we have the food of the people changed. When people were hunter gatherer, they mostly ate meat and fish, including some fruits, roots, and seeds. After farming was discovered, their food habits also changed. They started taking cereals, some vegetables, meat, and milk. The fifth point we have is many other things became possible. Because of farming, enough food for the entire village could be grown by just a few people. This paved the way for other people to invest their time on other activities like pottery and art. Sixth point we have is trade developed. Since villages and towns began to produce more foods and other crops than they needed, they began to exchange the extra goods with each other. This was the beginning of trade. Here, the word trade means buying and selling of goods. Our last point is the population began to grow. With the increase in the production of crops, the number of people also increased. Now, let us discuss herding. All the animals and plants that we use today were found only in the wild. Gradually, humans domesticated those animals and plants that would be useful. Some places were not suitable for growing crops. Here, people kept herds of domesticated animals like sheep, goats, or cattle that ate wild grasses and plants. When food of their animals was finished, people moved to another place where food was available. These people were wandering herds. Next we have is discovery of metals. Stone Age was followed by the Metal Age when people discovered how to use metals. The earliest part of this period is Chalcolithic or Copper Age when copper was discovered and used. Copper was used for making tools and weapons. However, copper tools bend easily, so they were not very effective. They needed to be polished regularly. Next came the Bronze Age. Later, another metal, tin, was discovered in some parts of the world. This was mixed with copper to make bronze, which was stronger than copper. This period, when bronze became the most commonly used metal, is known as Bronze Age. Many artifacts from the Bronze Age have been discovered, such as tools, cooking vessels, weapons, etc. Lastly, let's discuss about farming in India. Farming started very early in India too. Even today, most Indians live in villages where the main occupation is farming. In some places, the methods of farming have not changed for centuries, but now, in many places, farming with tractors and modern tools is also practiced. With this, we have come to an end of our class. For quick revision, some exercises are given with the answer keys. You all have to do it in your copies. I hope this class was helpful. Thank you.